Sorghum, scientifically known as Sorghum bicolor, is one of the most resilient cereals on the planet. Native to the vast savannas of East Africa, it has been cultivated for millennia in areas where other crops could not survive. It withstands drought, extreme heat, and saline soils, spreading from the arid fields of Sudan to the hot plains of Mexico. But beyond its agronomic strength, this grass holds medicinal and nutritional secrets that still surprise modern science. Its gluten-free grain is rich in antioxidants, zinc, iron, and phenolic compounds that help lower cholesterol, regulate blood sugar, and strengthen the digestive system. Its tannins also give it astringent and antimicrobial properties, which are especially useful in natural treatments for diarrhea or intestinal infections. In Africa, it is fermented to make nutritious beers. In Asia, it is the basis for potent spirits. In America, it is a source of bioenergy. In Nigeria, it is called Guinea corn. In India, jawar. And in Central America, it is known as maishilo. But what is it called in your country? Around the world, millions of farmers place their hope in this grain. From the red soils of Burkina Faso to the sunny plains of northern Argentina, sorghum represents much more than food. It is dignity, resilience, and sustenance. This plant is grown quietly, far from the spotlight that usually shines on wheat or corn, but it is precisely in its humility that its power lies. That is why, at Farming World, we want to pay tribute to those who work the land with their hands, soul, and heart, to those who turn every seed into an act of faith. If you value this story and want to learn more about sustainable gardens, we invite you to subscribe to our channel and download our free organic gardening ebook. It includes a complete course, tools, and tips to start your own garden at home. Support us so we can continue to highlight the work that truly feeds the world. For centuries, sorghum has been considered a hidden treasure of agriculture. First domesticated in Ethiopia more than 2,000 years ago, this cereal soon spread throughout Africa, Asia, and later America. It was valued not only for its resistance to drought, but also for its ability to grow in poor soils without fertilizers or abundant irrigation. In times of scarcity, when other crops failed, sorghum remained standing. This plant, with its sturdy stem and thin leaves, withstood storms, endured neglect, and without asking for anything in return, fed entire families. It was and is the grain of the forgotten, the cereal of the resilient. Its anatomy is a work of evolution. The root system of sorghum spreads like an underground network that can reach up to 2 meters deep, exploring every inch of soil in search of moisture. Its leaves, adapted to reduce water loss, fold under the scorching sun as if praying for rain. And its ear, modest but dense, is filled with tiny spherical grains, capable of surviving even the harshest summers. In times of climate crisis, sorghum is not only a viable option, it is an agricultural lifeline. Today, we know that sorghum not only feeds, it also heals. Various scientific studies have confirmed its antioxidant properties, thanks to the presence of tannins, flavonoids, and phenolic compounds, such as ferulic acid. Regular consumption can lower cholesterol, balance blood sugar, and improve intestinal health. In addition, since it does not contain gluten, it is a perfect alternative for people with celiac disease or wheat sensitivity. It has been used as a natural remedy to stop diarrhea, fight gastrointestinal infections, and even strengthen the immune system during times of convalescence. A small grain, but one with immense power. The ways of consuming it vary according to culture. In Ethiopia, the grain is transformed into injera, a flat, sour bread that accompanies every meal. In China, it is fermented to produce baijiu, a potent traditional liquor. In Mexico and Central America, it is known as maicilo and is ground to make atoles or tamales. And in the United States, it is used both for animal feed and for the production of biofuels, thanks to its high energy yield. Sorghum is so versatile that every people who adopt it find a new use for it, a new story, a new flavor. In the countryside, its cultivation is almost an act of patience. It is sown when the soil has received enough heat and harvested months later, when the ears of corn ripen under the scorching sun. During that time, sorghum resists pests, diseases, and heat waves that would leave other cereals in ruins. It does not need sophisticated pesticides or constant irrigation. All you have to do is sow it well, watch for signs, and let nature do its thing. That is why each sorghum harvest not only feeds, it also teaches and inspires. And it is this inspiration that many scientists have begun to focus their attention on. With a nutritional profile similar to that of corn, but with greater resistance and a smaller water footprint, sorghum is being considered by the FAO and other institutions as one of the crops of the future. Capable of adapting to climate change, ideal for regenerative agriculture systems, and with enormous potential in the functional foods and biofuels industries, it is no exaggeration to say that sorghum could be one of the pillars of global food security in the coming decades. Sorghum has also taken deep root in the fields of Latin America. In Mexico, it is known as maicilo and is a vital part of the agricultural system in the semi-arid regions of the north and the Bajío. Here, farmers plant it as an alternative when water is scarce or rainfall is unpredictable. They value it because it does not require much and always delivers something. In Argentina, especially in the plains of the Pampas region, sorghum is grown for fodder and grain and has been instrumental in sustaining livestock production. In Bolivia, Paraguay, and other Andean countries, sorghum represents food sovereignty, a crop that grows where others fail and feeds without depending on the outside world. But what many people don't know is that sorghum is also a growing source of energy. Its sugar-rich stalks are used to produce bioethanol, a renewable fuel that is now exported from countries such as Brazil and the United States. This biofuel does not compete with food production because it can even be produced from varieties that are not suitable for human consumption. Thus, sorghum is not only on the plate, but also in the engine of the modern world. Its low water consumption, high productivity, and ability to regenerate soils position it as one of the most ecological and strategic crops for the global energy transition. The plant itself is a marvel of adaptation. During a drought, sorghum enters a state of pause, reduces its metabolism, and waits. When the rain returns, it resumes its growth as if nothing had happened. This ability to hibernate is unique among cereals and is one of the reasons why experienced farmers choose it. In addition, there are varieties of sweet sorghum, pearl sorghum, forage sorghum, and even hybrids that combine productivity, resistance, and nutritional value. The genetic diversity of sorghum is a treasure trove that is still largely unexplored, but full of promise. And while in the West sorghum is still associated with animal feed and fodder, In Africa and Asia, its role is deeply cultural. In Sudan, for example, it is the staple food for millions of people. It is harvested, ground, cooked, and transformed into kisra, a type of flatbread that is part of the daily diet. In India, it is known as jawar and is an essential ingredient in chapatis, rotis, and porridge. It is also a staple of vegan and gluten-free diets in health-conscious urban communities. In every corner of the globe, sorghum takes on a different form, but its mission is always the same: to nourish. Nutritionally, sorghum grain provides protein, fiber, iron, phosphorus, zinc, and B vitamins. It is rich in bioactive compounds such as avenanthramides and tannins, which act as powerful natural antioxidants. Its soluble fiber content helps lower cholesterol levels, regulates intestinal transit, and improves the microbiota. For all these reasons, the scientific community considers it a functional food. It is a cereal that not only nourishes, but also prevents disease. It is a silent ally in the fight against malnutrition, type 2 diabetes, and cardiovascular problems. And yet, its value is still underestimated. In many countries, sorghum is still seen as animal feed, a perception that is slowly changing thanks to the rise of conscious, gluten-free, and low environmental impact eating. In kitchens around the world, chefs and nutritionists are rediscovering this ancient grain and transforming it into vegan burgers, comforting soups, gluten-free granola, and even energy drinks. Sorghum has crossed the barrier of the field and entered, in its own right, the gourmet universe. But beyond fads, sorghum remains what it always was: the grain of the humble. In the most impoverished villages of sub-Saharan Africa, it continues to be the daily sustenance of millions. Its resistance to climate change has made it a strategic crop in regions where hunger is a constant threat, and its regenerative cultivation helps combat soil erosion, one of the greatest agricultural crises of the 21st century. In every ear of sorghum, there is a story of adaptation, survival, and hope. Because growing sorghum is not just about sowing a cereal, it is about sowing the future. Throughout history, sorghum has proven that it does not need attention to be extraordinary. It does not have the fame of wheat or the prestige of rice, but it has accompanied entire civilizations since their dawn. In the fields of Ethiopia, it is more than a crop, it is a legacy. The elders remember it as the grain that saved their people during droughts. In the villages of the Sahel, women grind it by hand, cook it over a wood fire, and serve it as a symbol of shared life. Sorghum does not impose itself, it offers itself. Silent, versatile, humble, but powerful. Even modern science surrenders to its virtues. Recent research explores its potential for the treatment of metabolic diseases, its use in gluten-free diets for people with celiac disease, and its application as a functional food for intestinal health. Its natural pigments are being studied as food colorings, its tannins as anti-inflammatory agents, and its antioxidants as possible cancer preventatives. In a world where health and sustainability are urgent issues, sorghum appears as an ancient answer to contemporary challenges. In the countryside, sorghum also represents dignity. For millions of family farmers in Africa, Asia, and Latin America, This crop means economic independence. Unlike other cereals, it does not require expensive fertilizers or intensive irrigation systems. It adapts, it resists, and even in difficult years, it provides something to harvest. That is why more and more rural communities are returning to sorghum as a way to reconnect with their roots, reduce costs, and protect their land. In times of crisis, sorghum does not abandon. Sorghum sustains. In big cities, meanwhile, oats and quinoa are gaining ground in supermarkets and on social media, but sorghum is beginning to arouse curiosity. Conscious cuisine restaurants are incorporating it into their menus. Nutrition blogs recommend it for its low glycemic profile, and local entrepreneurs are processing it into flour, puffing it, turning it into healthy snacks. We are witnessing the rebirth of an ancient grain, not because it is fashionable, but because it is necessary. Because what feeds us is not only what we eat, but how we grow it. But sorghum is not just food. It is also culture, landscape, history. It is the rustling of dry leaves under the Sahel sun. It is the song of the farmer who waters its roots with hope. It is the aroma of freshly baked cake in a mud kitchen. It is the sweat of the rural worker who, without knowing it, cultivates medicine in the form of grain. Sorghum does not only grow in the earth, it grows in memories. And perhaps that is why it has endured for centuries without needing praise, because its value is not measured in labels, but in lives. This simple, often invisible grain offers us a powerful lesson. The most valuable things are not always the most visible. In a world thirsty for simple and effective solutions, sorghum reminds us that sometimes the essentials are already sown. That true innovation can be as old as a seed. That resilience is cultivated with deep roots and patience. That in small things there is strength. That in the forgotten there is a future. So the next time you see a sorghum ear waving in the field, don't ignore it. Look again. There is ancient wisdom, natural engineering, nutrition, and hope. A plant that has fed entire villages, that adapts to the most extreme conditions, and that, without making a sound, is helping to save the planet. What about you? Did you already know everything sorghum can do for us? Leave your comments below. And if this journey has inspired you, subscribe to Farming World. Download our free organic garden ebook and get ready to discover the next secret of the earth.